that actually I think for Zinzino partner and also customer, it is always important that they can understand this balance test report personally.
Yep.
Okay. Why? Because Zinzino is actually a test-based supplementations company, right?
Yep.
So always all the partners and all the people from Zinzino all around the world will always recommend their customer or anyone that they share the products with to start with the test first.
Yes.
Right. Then before they even start their supplementations with omega-3. Yeah. So by understanding all the data and all the details in the report, then easier for you to answer the questions asked by the customer, right? And also it's easier for you to, recommend any products or also to recommend them any diet modifications, right? Yeah. So today is all about balance test. Okay. So today, basically, I will divide it into two portions. Yeah. One is first we'll talk a little bit about the importance of balance test. Yeah. Why should we recommend the balance test to everyone? Yeah. And the second part, then we start to understand all the data, all the results in the report. Okay, great. Okay, then let's start with talk about the balance test. So I believe that all of you are familiar with the balance test, right? I believe some of you are even familiar with than me, correct? Yeah. So any one of you tell me, what is actually balance test? What balance test is for? To test the level of inflammations. Anything else?
To see the level of fatty acids in the body.
Okay, great. Okay, so very good answer and very direct answer. So I believe most, because when we're talking about inflammations, most people are mentioning about the balance of omega-6 and omega-3. So some might think that, I do this balance test is to check my status of omega-6 and omega-3. But actually not only that, okay? As you mentioned, actually the balance test is actually helping us to analyze the fatty acids in the blood. Yeah. So if you are familiar with the reports, you can see that actually we can find up to 11 types of fatty acids from the reports, right? Okay. So to understand why the balance test is so important, first things that we need to really fully understand is what is fatty acid. Okay, if you understand the benefits and the functions of fatty acids in our body, then you can easily explain, or when you introduce the test to someone, it's easier for you to answer their questions. Yeah. So why is fatty acids? Why fatty acids is so important? Okay. So fatty acids basically is from what? What kind of food? All those food. There is fat. Yeah. Means what? Very easy questions, right? So means that all the food that we eat, if it contains fat, then after digest, it will become the smaller particles, which is fatty acid. Okay, so the fatty acids are actually the building blocks of fat in the body. So as we know, fat is one type of macronutrients. Correct? Heard of it before? So macronutrients, the main functions of macronutrients is to help us to produce energy. Correct? Okay, including the carbs, the proteins, and also the fats. Actually, this group of macronutrients, the main function is to help us to produce the energy. Yeah. But fatty acid is not only about producing energy. Okay? Another main functions of fatty acids inside our body, and which is considered very important, which is helping us to maintain the structures of our cells membrane. Yeah. So cells membrane is very important. Correct? Yeah. We have a lot of different types of fatty acids, and each fatty acids actually play different role in maintaining the structures of our cells membranes. Okay, I will talk about it a bit later. Okay, and then after that, fatty acid is also important for the metabolic regulations, including our hormones and enzymes. That's why when, let's say, for example, when people, go through a very strict diet, okay, they remove all the fats in their diets, or they follow the low-fat diet. especially the female. You will find out that after a long periods of continuing this strict diet, sometimes they will find out that they will have the problems of period, the irregular menstrual cycle. Okay, it's all because of insufficiency of fats intake. Okay, and yeah, this is what we always talk about. The fatty acids play a very important role in control the inflammations in our body. Yeah, and also it's important for the brain modes and also helping us to focus better. Why? Because our brains, around 60% are made of fat. Okay, especially DHA, and also surprisingly, many people don't realize that AA, heard of it? Arachidonic acid is also very important to maintain the health of our brains. Okay, and also for a healthy aging. So as I mentioned just now, actually we have a lot of different types of fatty acids. Yeah, and sometimes normally people heard about fat, they would think that fat equals to bad. Right? Yeah, fat is bad. So avoid all the fat. Okay. People say what? Reduce the intake of fat to have a healthy blood vessels, healthy heart. Yeah. But always remember that actually there's different types of fats and different types of fatty acids. So basically, as you can see here, fatty acids are divided into two main groups, the saturated fat and unsaturated fat. Yeah. So let's talk about the saturated fats first. So saturated fats, I believe that is the types of fats that you always heard of to reduce, to cut. Don't take too much of saturated fats, correct? Yeah, why saturated fats always links to blockage of the arteries, helping us increase the risk of inflammations, etc., right? But always remember that saturated fats is also important for us. Okay, why? Because saturated fat is important to help us to maintain the structure of our cells membranes. Yeah. So if let's say we are not consuming enough amounts of saturated fat, then our cells membrane cannot hold the shape. Yeah. So it will get too soft. Okay. Which is actually also considered dangerous and not good. Okay. So why saturated fats? Sometimes people say it's not good to have too much of saturated fats. Mainly it's because saturated fats is, as what it names, saturated. Yeah, so as you can see from the chemical structure here, so saturated fats are formed with straight chains. Okay, and you can see that here, right? So means what? Means that saturated fats can be packed very tightly. Yeah. So if let's say I would like to draw the structures of the saturated fats in our body, just imagine that because it's a straight chains and it can pack very tightly. So if you have too much of saturated fats, so it will very tight. So if this happen, what will how it influence our cells membranes? It will cause our cells membranes to become too hard. Yeah, imagine all the blocks are packed tightly. Imagine, let's say, if you have played with the Lego brick before, imagine that if everything tightly, then it becomes very hard, right? Yeah, that's why too much of saturated fat will cause the cells membrane become hard, okay, become rigid, and also it will. Okay, we wait for. Don't worry. Can? Okay. Okay. Can. Okay. That's why for saturated fats, as I mentioned, we need saturated fats. But around per daily recommendations is less than 10%. Yeah, more than that, it will cause our cells membranes to get too hard. Okay, and then unsaturated fats. As you can see, what is unsaturated fats? You can see that the structure contains one or more than one double bond. Okay, so when this happens, so instead of like this, so maybe the structure here now they can't pack very tightly. Okay, so it will cause our cell membranes to become flexible. Okay, so that's why we should consume monounsaturated fat and polyunsaturated fat more to make sure that our cell membranes are soft and flexible enough. Okay, so what is monounsaturated fat? The most familiar with you guys, I believe, is omega-9 from the olive oil. Yeah, okay. And also avocado, some nuts contain very good source of monounsaturated fat. And for polyunsaturated fats, there is two essential fatty acids, which is omega-3 and omega-6. Yeah, essential means what? Essential means that our body cannot produce it. Yeah, we must get this omega-3 and omega-6 from our diet. Okay. In other words, if you want to control the balance of omega-3 and omega-6, we have to control it through our diet. Understand? Okay. But now's the problems. Yeah, we always say, okay, everything is so important, right? Actually, saturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, all these fatty acids play a very important role in our cells membranes. Yeah. Now the problem is what? The problem is nowadays, yeah, look at the history of omega-6 to omega-3 balance. So the good ratio recommended by science is 3:1. Yeah, and if you have 1:1 of the ratio, it's actually good for the DNA formation. Yeah, but 3:1 is okay lah. Yeah, but due to modern diets, our lifestyle, the omega-6 to 3 actually already shift to up to 21:1, yeah, 25:1, even higher. The higher the imbalance of the omega-6 to omega-3, okay, the higher risk for us to experience a lot of symptoms. Now, for example, like what? Like you have reduced brain functions. Yeah, you experience brain fog. You cannot focus. You get distracted easily. Yeah, hair quality decrease, reduce heart functions, and also you look aging. Okay, especially like what? Pre-aging. Yeah, because imbalance of the omega-6 to omega-3 will contribute to the skin elasticity losses. Yeah, and also reduce of organ functions, joint and muscle pain. Yeah. So why is this happening? Why imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3 will contribute to all these health issues? Always remember two things. Yeah, two issues that imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3 will cause. Okay, number one is imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3 will influence our cells membranes, as we mentioned, keep mentioning. Yeah, that's why when you explain to your customer, always bring up these 2 points. Number first is the cells membranes. Okay, so if, let's say, as I keep mentioning just now, actually, if we have sufficient, balance of omega-3 to omega-6, then our cells will look healthy. Okay, we will have a soft and flexible membrane. Okay, you can imagine the cells membranes. You can compare it with a balloon. Yeah, so balloon, a good and nice balloon, right? You have to make sure what? Make sure that it is hard enough to hold the shape, but it's soft enough, okay, to form bigger and nice looking balloon, right? Same like the cell's membranes. If we have a soft and flexible membranes, then the nutrients can get in easily. And then all the waste products can come out easily as well. But imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3 will contribute to hard and rigid membranes. Okay, so nutrients will get in slowly, waste products will come out slowly as well. And over time, your cells will start to get aging, you start to get inflamed, okay? You start to function poorly, and then our health, the body functions are all getting influenced, okay? And other than cells membranes, remember, second point about imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3 is it will definitely affect and cause the chronic inflammations. As we keep mentioning, chronic inflammations is actually considered as the root cause of many lifestyle diseases, including all the, heart disease, even diabetes, cancer is actually all caused beginning with the chronic inflammations. So what is chronic inflammation? So you can imagine it like a slow fire, burning inside your body. So over time, it lasts for maybe for weeks, for months, or even for years. And because of these chronic inflammations, it constantly activates your immune system. Okay, and then it will continuously stimulate and release the inflammatory factors, causing your body keep on, slow and long-lasting inflammation. And this is the problems. So as you can see here, and what you always mention, imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3 causing two main problems. One is the cells membrane. Cells membrane not healthy, nutrients cannot go in, waste product cannot go out, right? Second thing is the chronic inflammations. Okay, then now questions. Can we, by looking at our, outside, looking at me, can you guess how much of omega-6 or, the ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 that I'm actually experiencing? No, right? We can't tell that unless you already have a very obvious symptom. But to be honest, even people with chronic inflammations, the symptoms might not obvious, okay? You might feel tired all the time, okay? You might, even you sleep enough 8 hours, but every day you just feel like you are fatigued, lack of sleep, no energy, okay? Sometimes even your mood swing also influenced by all this imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3. So the question now is, are you where you want to be, or are you in the danger zone? Okay, how are we going to find out this? Some people, when you ask them to take the balance test, okay, to check their omega-6 to omega-3 ratio or to check their fatty acid status, they might answer you what? No need lah, I'm healthy, right? I don't have any symptom, I'm okay what, right? I don't take medicines and I exercise, I eat healthily, every day I eat vegetable, every day I drink enough of water. Every day I actually already taking fish oil from other company, right? Or every day I eat fish, right? But let's say they're really, some people, most of the people, to be honest, after they really take the test, the result showing what? All this group of people looks healthy, or they think they are healthy, but their results also still showing imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3. So here's the proof. So Zinzino have done over more than 1.6 million tests, results showing that the world is out of balance, and globally 97% of the people globally are out of balance. And meanings what? Meanings every 100 people that you meet, 97 of people are in balance. Only 3 people are doing good. So as we always say, don't wait until symptoms, or don't wait until you go to doctor and only start to have to start your any actions. We always keep on saying that prevention is better than cure, right? So that's what Zinzino balance tests are offering us, because Zinzino balance tests, they are recommend everyone to have the test, but don't guess. So what is so special about balance test? I think is this one, the dry blood test, dry blood spot. This is very consider if I believe every one of you already done the test, right? Now, very simple, right? Now, instead of, like the traditional blood test, have to, take a whole test. Yeah, you have to fasting sometimes, right? But this is very easy, just 2 drops of blood, yeah, on the very special filter paper. So this paper is actually very special. It's high in antioxidants. Yeah, that's why it's actually some study and research even showing that and proving that this type of technique, dry blood test spot, is actually more convenient, simple, and accurate compared to those liquid blood tests. Yeah, the traditional one. And actually, dry blood spot is not a new invention. Starting from 1913, it's actually already some researchers, scientists already find out that dry blood spot test actually is a very good method. Yeah, but it start to be used in the real world starting from 1963. Yeah, for the newborn to screen for the PKU, and then after that, lots of research, a lot of studies. Okay, and now actually it's already become very common. Yeah, and we can see that if we want to have higher sense of credibility, you can see that actually dry blood spots are used widely by many well-known organizations and institutions like WADA, the International Olympic Committee, the International Testing Agency, China Anti-Doping Center. Yeah, so you can see that DBS, yeah, dry blood spot, if let's say they are using it to test the Olympic athletes, yeah, then we can compare it and we can understand that how accurate, okay, how trusted this test can be in testing our fatty acid. Yeah. Okay, so there's actually a lot of research. If you are interested, you can look at the paper. So to prove that the reliability, accuracy, and stability of DPS is actually high and even better than those traditional blood tests. Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, previously there's some partner asking me the questions like, because we are dropping the blood on the filter paper, right? Yeah, some might think that, will it get contaminated? Because we have to put it there to dry for around 10 minutes, right? Yeah. So from here, actually, you from this study, all this study, actually, you can see that, as I mentioned just now, the filter paper is very special. Okay, it's an antioxidants pre-treated filter paper, and it remains stable for at least 44 days at room temperature. Yeah, so no need to worry about that. And also, let me see what else importance here. Yeah, very easy. That's why DBS, because the test is not analyzed in Malaysia. Okay, no matter you're from Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, all your tests you send to only one place. Correct. The Vitas Analytic Services in Oslo, Norway. Yeah, so they have to find out a way, because if the traditional one is less stable, okay, that's why the dry blood spot DBS is a very good technique, very good methods to use. And the balance test is actually not just another simple basic test. Okay, it's already comply with the European regulations for IVD medical devices. Yeah. Okay. So how to do the test? So I believe that everyone of you already know lah. Okay. Just make sure that your hand is clean. Okay. Just make sure that the blood is dry. Just put that over like 10 minutes, but don't use the hair dryer to blow it lah. Okay. Just dry naturally. And then you can send it to, as I mentioned just now, the test will be sent to Vitas Analytic Services. Yeah. And to add another sense of credibility, So we know that the balance tests are using an anonymous double-blind analysis system, which what means that Zinzino will not know who you are. And with us also will not know where the test is coming from. Yeah. So this will eliminate the human bias, the company influence, or any data manipulations. Then you get a barcode, right? Then after around 10 to 20 days, then you can check your results through www.zinzinotest.com. Correct. Okay. So now you get your result. Yeah. So now we go. Start another part of today. Talks is about. This is. Believe every one of you are coming for this, right? Yeah, right. The interpretations of balance test reports. How should we interpret the balance test reports? So as I mentioned, it's actually really important for all the Zinzino partners to understand the report so that you can answer the questions from your customers confident. Yeah. But always I think it's good that just a very gentle reminder, because none of us should diagnose anything. Yeah, and the reports are not meant for us to diagnose any health conditions or anything. See, okay? We just, based on the data, we can, we look at how the diet, yeah, how's the fatty acid intake and how's the fatty acid, the ratio, yeah, the contents in the body. Yeah, that's all we can learn from the balance test report. Okay, first, when we get the report, the result, so we can, you will have your test ID, your gender, and then your age. So one part is important. Actually, here, one thing is very important is that from here we can see that whether they are actually using any other omega-3 products. Yeah. So if let's say they are not using any omega-3 products, then actually these reports will be a very great baseline. Yeah, then after 120 days, they start the balance oil, then they see how their bodies work with this balance oil. Okay, but if let's say they are taking another omega-3, okay, another products, okay, but it's also very good as a reference. From there, we can see that how well their body actually work with that particular omega-3 products that they are taking. Okay. Okay, so from here, we can first have a look at these qualitative results. And basically, this is the 6 main key indicators. Yeah, and that represents with the different colors, 3 colors. The red one, the traffic light color. Yeah, the red, yellow, and green. Okay, red means what? Dangerous. Dangerous, you are in dangerous zone. Okay, or you are insufficient. Okay, you have to do something with it. Correct. And then second, the yellow one means what? Okay lah. Okay. Cautions, and you are not in danger zone, but it's still insufficient. Yeah. Okay. And green means what? Sufficient. Okay, good. Yeah. But means what? Another meaning is you still need to maintain. Okay, some say that after I get the report, all green, means that I can stop the product, is it? I can start to eat whatever they like, right? Okay, no lah. Actually, this one is this report is to see basically to see how well your how the fatty acids in your body how much or how efficient of the fatty acid in your body in 120 days. Okay, then from there you know that whether you are doing great with your diet, with your lifestyle, with your diet, whether you're doing great with the stress management, the sleep management. From there we can see from here. Yeah. Okay, so let's focus on these 6 key indicators. So includes what? Including the omega-6 to 3 balance, the protections value, omega-3 index, mental strength, cell membrane fluidity, and AA index. Okay, we go through it one by one. Okay, let's start with omega-6 to 3 balance. So this is what we keep mentioning. Yeah, so for the first portion, if you already understand how imbalance of omega-6 to 3 will influence the health of our body, then you can easily explain about this column. Yeah, this box, this index. So omega-6 to 3 balance, as we can see, actually, we are recommended to have below 3 to 1. Yeah, so if you are having the result in ratio in 3 to 1, means what? Means that your omega-6, okay, particularly your AA, is 3 times higher than your omega-3. Okay, if you have the result in 10 to 1, means what? Yeah, so means your body have this AA 10 times more than the omega-3. Okay, especially particularly the EPA. Okay. So why recommended 3 to 1? Because naturally, actually in our body, if according to our genes, you should have it below 3 to 1. Okay, because if too much of omega-6, it will cause what? Two things. Remember two things? It will cause, yes, okay, the cells membrane to get hard and rigid. And second one, it will cause chronic inflammations. Okay, good. So from there you can explain further. Okay, so omega-6 to 3 balance. Actually, from here, there's something considered as interesting, quite interesting. So because it's a ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, okay. So some people they might have a green color, okay, no, I mean they have 3 to 1. They say they have 3 to 1. Okay, looks good, right? Okay, green zone okay what? But when they look at their omega-3 index, so maybe yellow or red color. Okay, so why this happen? Actually, this ratio is like, for example, if I give, for easier for you guys to understand, is something like this. If let's say your body have 300 mg of omega-3, okay, but you have 900 mg of omega-6, then you get the ratio of what? 3 to 1, correct? But 300 mg of omega-3 is sufficient or not? No. Okay. For a normal adult, usually at least 500. Okay. So this is how we, I mean, do not just focus on this omega-6 to 3 balance or ratio. Okay. It's good to have the green one, but we have to look at other index. Okay. Whether we are doing great with sufficiency of omega-3 or not. Okay. Whether actually the AA is under control or not. Okay. Next, any questions for this omega-6 3? No, right? Very straightforward. Okay, next one, protection value. What do you understand by protection value? Some people, I think most of the people, during their first test, they will get 0, right, for the protection value. Okay, so people get scared, right? Wow, 0 protection value means what? Means no protection. Dangerous, right? So scale, right? Okay, so protection value, some people might think that it's about the immune cells or immune functions. Yeah, so that's why when they look at the results showing 0 in protection value, they think that their immune function is 0 protection. It's dangerous. Yeah, because we know immune system is important to protect us from all the virus, all the foreign substances, right? Yeah, but actually immune functions or our immune system is not only influenced by the omega-3. Yeah, I mean all the vitamins and minerals, whether we are having enough of that, whether we have enough of sleep, okay, whether we manage our stress in a good way. Actually, all this influence the immune system. Yeah, this protection value here in your report is actually means the protection contributes by the omega-3. Yeah, if 0 means what? Means that the protection contribute by the omega-3 in your body is 0. Okay, so this protection value is actually highly influenced by the EPA and DHA. Yeah, so if let's say you increase your intake of EPA and DHA, and the EPA and DHA that you take is really absorbed efficiently and used by yourself then the protection value will go up. Okay, that's why after normally after start taking the balance oil, you will see from 0 your protection value will go up, sometimes even to 100%. Yeah, and ideally it's around it's more than 90 is okay. Okay. Yeah. Any questions for protection value? No, can okay.
But Amber, if we go and explain to layman our customers, we can just say this is contribution of omega-3 to what, to our immune system.
The protections to, immune system is part of it because omega-3 also play important roles in the immune system. Yeah, but protection value here, omega-3 is also means the protection of the cell's membrane. Yeah, as I mentioned, most of our cell's membranes are formed by fatty acids, right? Fatty acids, especially the good omega-3, the EP and DHA. Yeah, so if we have enough sufficient of the omega-3, then our cell's membrane is being protected better. Okay, when it is protected, means what? Means it can, or if let's say we have all these free radicals, the foreign substances, okay, our cells are being protected because it's strong enough, your cell's membrane. Okay, can you understand?
Yeah. Under the protection, it's not so much on immunity.
As what I understand, it's not about immunity.
It's more on cell membranes.
Yeah, cells membranes and indirectly it will contribute to the immune
So you're
system.
saying that when the membrane is strong enough, whatever viruses and whatever coming, they will protect the life. Is that how we're going to explain to them?
Against it, the membranes, cells membranes also influenced by other factors lah. So we cannot say whatever all kinds of foreign substances, okay, will not affect the cells, the health of the cells. Okay, it just means that your cells, if you have a better membrane, okay, it's just like a wall. If your wall is strong enough, okay, when someone come and attack us, we have the better protection. Okay, for example, like let's say just like the rust protections on our car. Okay, if let's say we have the protections, if let's say we do not have any rust protection on our car, doesn't mean that it will get rust, but it will means that it is vulnerable. Okay, means that it is the risk of getting rusty is higher.
Easy to get rust.
Yes, yes. Okay, same like the cell's membrane and the protections. Okay, so means that if let's say we have a better omega-3, okay, it's a good amount of omega-3 in our body, our cell's membranes will get soft and flexible enough and healthy, and then like we keep mentioning just now, the nutrients get in easily, the waste products, the waste come out easily. Okay, then the cell's membrane are protected. Yeah.
As a layman, can we just mention that your protection value 0, try to reduce your omega-6.
Yeah, it's also one of it.
Try to reduce your omega-6.
Yeah, that's what you see here. Yeah.
Reduce all the unsaturated fat. That's what we can say to the layman.
Yes.
So when we talking about DGLA, all these, they say, what are you talking about? So that is a problem in market terrorism.
Yeah,
So
that's why
they put it as simple as possible.
okay. So that's why can I try? I try. That's why you guys can ask if let's say okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why from here the protection value based on this test report right? As you can see here, actually it's based on 3 indicators, including the omega-6. Yeah, so that's why when we look at all the indicators, no matter the omega-6 to 3 balance, the omega-3 index, the cell fertility, all the indicators, don't look at it as one.
Yeah.
Look at it as a whole, okay, whole things. Because like we mentioned just now, it's not only about omega-3, omega-6 intake, your saturated fat intake, all actually also influence the result. Okay, yeah, but the protection value here doesn't mean that immune function actually, not really into the immune functions. Okay, because if let's say because this result, always remember, is based on the fatty acid, based on the 11 types of fatty acid analyzed from your blood. Yeah, so everything will play around with the fatty acid.
But one more thing, can I ask? All these fatty acids built by animal fat and plant-based oil, plant-based oil.
Depends on what source, then we'll give you what types of fatty acid. Yeah, let's say for example, if you take too much of animal fat, then you will have a higher content of saturated fats in your body. Okay, you take a lot of vegetable oil, then you have maybe too much of omega-6. Yeah, it's all it's all fried foods, all the fried foods, fast food will contribute to the level of omega-6 in your body. And all these, remember, too much of omega-6 will what? Will cause your cells membrane to get hard and rigid. Yeah, so it will influence the nutrients intake again. Yeah, then your cells will get unhealthy. Then how able your cells can protect you if let's say your cells membrane is not protected by the omega-3. Okay, understand? Yeah.
So if you just tell them if your protection value is 0, that means you get easily.
Yeah, easy to say that. If let's say your protection value is low, means what? Means that your cells membrane will get the 2 points, remember? Yeah, just always mention the 2 points. If let's say your protection value is low, means that your cells membrane is not healthy. Then okay. Second thing, it means that you have a higher risk of inflammations, especially the chronic inflammation. Okay, actually, you just can explain it simply with the 2 points. That's why I keep mentioning the 2 points. Yeah, I mean, there's another factors. I just forget about it. Just focus on these two. Yeah. Okay. Can I? Okay. Yeah. I just don't want to. I hope that people don't misunderstand about this protection value and thinking that you have 0 protections value means that you will yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, the doesn't mean that your immune system are having problems. Not really lah. Okay, it's just the protections of your cells. Yeah, how well your cells behave. Okay, next, omega-3 index. So this actually represented by the EPA and DHA. Yeah, so we recommend to have more than 8% because in natural, actually we should have EPA at around 3.6%, DHA around 4.7%. So total is more than 8% for the omega-3 index. Okay, so this is very, I mean, as few things about this index lah. So first of all, like I mentioned just now, you have to look at this one lah. Okay, even let's say you have a balanced omega-6 to 3, let's say you have 3 to 1, we still have to look at this omega-3 index, whether you actually have sufficient of omega-3 or not. Okay. Then another thing is some people, they are maybe let's say they are taking another brand of omega-3. Okay. And then after that, I mean, they say that I have been taking this fish oil for years. Okay. Then after I take your balance test, why my omega-3 index is still low? It's still not enough, insufficient. Okay, means what? If this happens, if you see this kind of results, what can you tell the customer? Means what?
Not taking
Sorry?
insufficient of balance oil.
The quality of the fish oil you take is not good enough.
Yeah, okay, one of it. Yeah. Another thing is
Not absorbable.
good, okay. maybe the dosage. Yes, that's why we also mentioning that. Remember, 1,000 mg of omega-3 doesn't equals to 1,000 mg of EPA and DHA. Yeah, so have to look at the 1,000 mg of, for example, 100 mg, because in market always always 1,000 mg at least mg of omega-3 doesn't equals to 1,000 mg of EPA plus DHA. Yeah. So some have 1,000 mg of omega-3, but only maybe few hundred of EPA and DHA. Okay, but what we need actually the EPA and DHA. Yeah, not the omega-3, but how much and the dosage of EPA and DHA. Okay, so this is the second one. So another one is what? Another one is they might taking fish oil for years, but the product is not absorbed efficiently by the body. That's why even they take the product for years, their omega-3 index after test is still low. Okay, so this is all about the potency of the products that they are using. Yeah.
So I also know that I've been taking it. So I bought the E brand, that brand, 1,500 mg one. Okay, that one I've been taking for many years. 1,500 mg. That one, after I learned from her, so I look back at the label, okay, 1,500 mg only equals to about 900 mg. So really, pound for pound, ml for ml,
And also actually talking speaking about the absorption. Speaking about the absorption, actually previously I also mentioned that the type of omega-3 or the types of fish oil actually also EE, TG or will also influence the absorptions of the product in the body. Okay, so then you can introduce your balance oil. Yeah. So I believe most of people after they're taking the balance oil for at least 120 days, the value, the omega-3 index will increase. Okay, so but it's important to make sure that your omega-3 index is sufficient. Yeah, because this is what we need.
Understanding they are taking the fish liver oil.
Okay, cod liver fish.
It's not they are taking the fish oil.
Yeah. Yeah, not.
The pure one.
Yeah, it's
It's
totally.
very
Yeah. Totally different. No. Actually, fish oil and cod liver fish oil is two different things, two different products. So fish oil mainly is the omega-3, the EPA and DHA. But cod liver fish oil actually mainly giving us the vitamin A and D. So it actually extracts the oil from the liver. Yeah, it gives us the A and D. But nowadays there are some product maybe they already know it, right? So they will add the DHA inside products, but it's still, not naturally giving us the DHA, EPA and DHA. So that's why I have to be careful. Especially children's. So some parents that think that fish oil, they heard that fish oil is very good, right? But actually they're giving the cod liver fish oil. Okay, and because cod liver fish oil is very high in vitamin A, so it's actually too much of vitamin A is dangerous for kids. Yeah, that's why I have to be careful Have to understand fish oil and cod liver. Because too high of vitamin A will affect the developments of the kids, their growth, the brain, their growth. Yeah, they have the upper limit needed for the vitamin A. That's why even for pregnant lady also cannot take too high or too much of. Are not advised to take supplementation of vitamin A. Yeah.
But just now you mentioned the other brand, say it's like 1,000 mg. Only a portion of how about the last one?
Other thing other fat but not EPA and DHA or some filler. Next time you ask the company. You ask them and tell me what they put inside. Okay, can. So so it is about omega-3 index. Okay, mental strength. So this is something also interesting. Some people, if they look at it first time, right, might think that, oh, I have a good mental strength means that I'm smart. I am the clever one. Yeah. Oh my, I have a poor mental strength means that, oh my God, means that I'm not smart enough. No, guys, no, it's not about smart or, intelligence. Yeah. So this mental strength is basically, they look into the AA and EP and DHA. So as I mentioned just now, actually our brain are made up of 60% made up of fat. Yeah, and majority is from DHA and AA. So we need AA. Yeah. So because usually we heard a lot about AA is not good. Reduce the amounts of AA, right? But again, we need AA for our immune functions and also for our brain functions. Okay, so that's why you see here AA is important also, but again, too much of AA will cause inflammations. Okay, so that's why the ratio of this mental strength are recommended to be below 1:1. Yeah, means that AA and EPA DHA, particularly the DHA, have to be 1:1 to have a better mental strength. Okay, if you have too much of AA, it will also influence the mental strength. Yeah, so this mental strength means what? Not about smart or intelligence. It's about how well can you focus, let's say. Yeah, if you have a better mental strength, means that you can focus better and you can, your memory is better. Yeah, and you maybe you're not distracted easily. Okay, this is about this mental strength. Okay, very straightforward as well. Yeah, emotion as well, and also the mood. Okay, because AA and DHA also influence the nervous system. Yeah, the nervous system, and nervous system is important for us to produce the neurotransmitter, and neurotransmitter is important to control our mood, yeah, our emotion. Okay, can I? Next one, cell membrane influidity. This one also we talk a lot about this one. But if you look at the formula here, it's not just not about omega-6 lah. Okay, it's about saturated fat. It means that if let's say if you look at the 11 types of fatty acids in your reports, actually there's one part is saturated fat. Correct, because saturated fats, as I mentioned just now, actually is also important to maintain the structures of our cells membrane. Okay, but too much of saturated fats will cause it what? Like this, hard, rigid. Okay, it's not flexible enough. Yeah, that's why we need a lot of more EPA and DHA. Then our cells and brain can be more flexible and soft. Okay, this one we talk a lot about it. So I believe every one of you can explain about this result, right? Okay, next one. Okay, last AA index. So arachidonic acid. Actually, remember that it's actually we need AA. Yeah, don't eliminate all your AA intake or reduce your totally. People following a very strict diets, like I mentioned, very low fat diets, they might have a very low level of AA. Yeah, but AA is so important. First thing the most important one for AA is what? AA is the one that stimulates or initiates the inflammation. Remember this. Yeah, means, yeah. Okay, AA is the one substances importance in initiates the inflammations. For example, if you get a cut, okay, so our cells actually will signal, okay, the cell transmitting signaling will signal our body, our immune cells to come and protect us, okay, and then this process, we call it as inflammations, okay, and who initiate the inflammations? AA. So if let's say you do not have enough of AA, then even you get a cut, then nothing will initiate the inflammation. Then, if let's say your injury is not recover, what happened? If keep open wound, what happened? all the bacteria, we're exposed to all the foreign substances in the environment, so it's dangerous. That's why inflammation is actually important. Okay, remember that? What we call it as acute inflammation. Yeah, the short-term immediate inflammation actually protect us. Okay, but chronic inflammations is killing us. Okay, it's hurting us. Okay, so remember this. That's why acute inflammations are initiated by the AA. That's why we need sufficient amount of AA as well. But this is another problem because AA initiate inflammation. So when too much of AA, it will cause what? Too much of inflammations. So that will cause problem. Okay. So that's why, as you can see from if compared to other key indicators, AA index you will see not only one side of red, yellow, green. Okay, you see left hand side you also have this yellow and green, but yellow and red color. Yeah. So if let's say left hand side means what? Means that your AA is too low. Okay, when too low, it's hard for our body to initiate the inflammations. Okay, it also influence the, I mentioned, the weak immune or the hormonal signaling. Yeah, it's not good. Okay, if too high, also not good because it will initiate the inflammation. Okay, okay. So any questions about these 6 key indicators? If not, then let's interpret this result. So from here, as I first thing that always, for report lah, my way of reading these reports, first I will look at whether they are taking any other omega-3 or not. Okay, for this person, actually they are he is taking other brand of omega-3, but see, still the result doesn't look really good, right? The omega-6 to 3 balance is considered as unbalanced. Okay, 24:1. Yeah, and you can see that even he is taking the omega-3 supplementations, but the index is also insufficient. It's not enough. So means what? Means that maybe the absorption problems, maybe the dosage is not enough. Okay, and after that, yeah, all because of this will influence the mental strength, the cell membrane fluidity. Yeah, as you can see, the protection value is 0. Why? Because too little of omega-3, no protection. Okay, and actually you can see the AA is not red color, it's okay lah. Okay, so what this person can do is try to reduce the omega-6 intake, but okay lah, at least not red color lah. Okay, and have to increase the omega-3 supplementations. Okay, so some people usually lah, okay, they take supplement mah, they think it's good enough. Okay, especially they take omega-3 supplement mah, they think okay enough already mah. Every day I take supplement or omega-3 supplement mah, and they are taking balanced oil, but they didn't have any modification or any changes with their lifestyle. And even the omega-6, they are still, having the intake of the omega-6 is still high. Then you see that the reports after 120 days might not look good as well. Yeah, so always remember, increase the intake of omega-3 and also reduce the omega-6. And actually also there is also other factors to influence the result lah, stress level, sleep management, etc. So for this one, this one cannot see the date. Actually, after 3 months, this is the same person report. Okay, so he's doing good. See, from 24:1 to 1.6:1. Then because everything is enough, everything is green color, looks good. The protection value is also 100%. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, so what should he do next? Stop product. Okay, I believe many customers are okay already. What? Okay, green color already okay already. So no need to take lah. No lah. Actually, after green means that you are doing great. Okay, what you are doing in 120 days means that you are doing everything right, including your diet, including your lifestyle, including your stress management, including your sleep. Okay, everything is good. So please maintain. Yeah, keep on. Okay, so if let's say after 220 days, I mean, not everyone will get all this, all green, right?
This is very good. This is excellent.
Okay, yeah, this is excellent. Only after 120 days, right? Yeah, if let's say like I mentioned, maybe have some value, well, so some result are still yellow or red, then we have to look back this 120 days. Okay, what you did, yeah, it's not sufficient. Okay, whether actually you think that maybe this 120 days, okay lah, I control my diet lah, but I still feel stressed. Okay, then we know lah. At least like you have this 120 days for you to observe or for you to see what other changes can you do. Okay, without this test, you won't know. And you won't know how well the product is actually working in your body. Okay.
Guys, how to take the balance one. Some people can take the balance one. Some people take the balance one insufficient.
You mean the dosage? Okay. Yeah, that's why let's say like for example, let's say after 120 days, you still see the omega-3 index are still not green, not enough. That means that maybe the dosage is not enough. That need more, means that then you can increase the dosage of the balance oil. Some maybe after they take the product, you can see when you look at the fatty acid, the 11 types of fatty acids, the omega-3 EPA DHA is too high, too much. Okay, then maybe means what? Means that actually you can slowly reduce the dosage or the amounts of the product you're taking. Yeah, means that, I mean, from this report, you can play around with all these supplementations or the diet.
Or some people they not take daily, maybe they are busy or the stuff
Ah.
they take supplement like maybe 1 week they should twice and stop 3 days.
Yeah, that can influence the result as well. That's why if let's say someone is really wants to improve and understand the importance of omega-3 and 6 balance, then they should follow. So first have to, initiate to, yes, if they really understand and hopes to be better health, then they will, I believe that they will initiate to follow and take the product consistently. If they think that they are just trying, so for this kind of people, maybe they take it alternately. Okay lah, I'm taking lah. At least I'm taking lah. Okay, yeah.
Because our balance oil don't cheat the person. The only person cheat himself. What
Yeah.
simple is that?
Yeah, then I mean we can't do anything if let's say they are cheating, right? Yeah, but from this report, at least we can see that there is something else that they can do to get better. At least from here we can see that. And if you get all green, at least we know that everything you do is
Can be better.
yeah. Okay.
But everything is green, but the AA is red. Then what do you tell?
Okay, so maybe means that there's a lot of reason behind it. Then we can look at the 11 types of fatty acids. So look at all the LA, the DGLA, the GLA. Yeah. So if let's say all is green, means that actually you are taking sufficient of omega-3. Yeah. But maybe the productions of AA in your body or the intake of the LA or the omega-3 is still high. So you can look at the diet that you eat, whether you're still having high amounts of omega-6 or not.
The eggs and starting the tuna, the products.
So maybe because that's why I have to look at other omega-6 value. Okay, look at it whether because of the enzyme problems. Yeah, actually later I will talk about the 11 types of fatty acids. Yeah, it's not just I mean all this value it's not just about the omega-6 and 3 lah. Yeah, that's why the 11 types of fatty acids also important, and also the omega-6 metabolic pathway. If you understand it, then you will see that other omega-3 value will influence the AA value. Yeah. For example, also like let's say for female, for girl, they might have higher AA as well. naturally, genetically. Yeah. Why? Because our body, because of the female hormones, it tends to make us have higher level of DGLA. Some lah. Okay. And higher DGLA means that it can be easily, if let's say our body are more towards the conversions of DGLA to AA, then naturally this person will have high level of AA. Yeah, that's why let's say they have this AA is high, but other value is normal, okay, looks good. Then look back at the diet, because diet modification is what we can actually do. Look back at it, okay lah, okay ma, I'm not taking any high omega-6 food. Then we have to look at other factors, which actually later I can show you. Okay?
All these parameters, is there a ranking of which one is more important than the other?
What do you think? Which one is important?
All are important.
Actually, I say I think personally, I think that each one are influenced by each other. Yeah. So like if omega, I think it is for us actually, these key indicators is make for us to easy understand. Yeah, easy for us to understand the report. Yeah. So if let's say it's easy for you to explain to your customer about this omega-6 to 3 balance, then you can focus here. Okay, from here, then you can elaborate everything. Okay, then from there, when you measure, okay, omega-3 is important, then you look at the omega-3. Okay, oh, if we have omega-6 are too high, then you look at the AA. Okay, then when this happen, then it will influence the mental strength and also influence the cell's membrane fluidity. So we can make a story. Balance, yes, correct.
Not too much AA as well. Not too low.
Yeah. Yeah.
How it relate to bones?
Relate to what?
Bones.
The bones. Our bones are made of cells as well. Yeah. Correct. Yes, again the story. Yeah, that's why cells nutrition is something I keep mentioning, is something interesting and something important nowadays. Okay, the cells nutrition topic. Yeah, and if you understand it and if you know how to use it, actually everything you can direct it to cells. Because why? Our body are made of cells. So if our cells is healthy, everything is good. But cells is only one thing. Cells is not only influenced by omega-3 and omega-6. Cells are actually influenced by a lot of other factors. Okay, that's why other than balanced oil, Relaxil, all the xenobiotics actually also important. Why? Because our cells also need other nutrients. Okay, need all types of, even your carbs, your proteins are important. Okay.
What I wanted to say is, because always people are arguing, I want to look young, I want to be healthy, I want to look my bone to be healthy. So always bound back to cell. When your cell is healthy, everything is healthy. You look good, you look young, That doesn't mean, oh, this product is good, I think this product I don't need all this already. Because cell is the indicator for our well-being and our future, how we look like. It's all bound back to cell. Correct?
Correct.
I just want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, you're right, and I agree with you. Okay, so everything, when they ask you about how this influence the heart, okay, your kidney, say, your brain, your bone, your muscle, and all, we can direct them to cells. Okay, and how this product influence the cells? How? 2 point. The cell membrane and also the inflammations. Yeah, okay. Can.
But our bone was made like us.
Yeah.
And inside so got vitamin D.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Particularly for bone, actually, can be another topic to talk about. Yeah. Okay. Now let us focus on the 11 fatty acids. So from the 6 key indicators, we can find out a lot of data and informations already. Yeah. So for some people, they might also look at all these details, the details of the fatty acids. And as you can see here, actually, this balance test is measuring 11 types of fatty acids and together contribute to approximately 98% of the fatty acids in the blood. Okay, including what? Saturated fats, monounsaturated fat, omega-9, and then the polyunsaturated fats, the omega-6 and omega-3. Okay. So here, actually, the value and the result, you can see that the target range, yeah, and your value. So roughly, normally lah, if let's say plus minus 5%, no need to really worry about it lah. Okay, but if you have too high or too low, then we have to look into it. Okay, what contribute to that? Okay. So let's start with saturated fats. So I keep mentioning saturated fats. It's important, remember, okay? So you just, when we look at this one, just remember that because saturated fats, as we know, like if you take too much of animal fats, even the coconut oil, too much, actually will contribute to high level of saturated fat. Okay? But also remember that if let's say the total of your PA and SA, if you add your value, is more than 37%, maybe it's not just about the saturated fat. Food, not just about the food high in saturated fats. Okay, maybe it's because of the refined carbs that you consume. Yeah, remember, actually saturated fats is not only from the food high in saturated fats. Okay, yeah. Our body can convert all the carbs and proteins that you consume to saturated fat. So if let's say you say that, okay, I'm not taking too much of saturated fat. Yeah, I have a low fat diet, but why my saturated fats in our body is still high? Okay, why? Maybe because of the carbs. Usually it's carbs lah, because nowadays people not really taking sufficient amount of protein. There's actually a new recommendation. This few days, I don't know your Facebook have this news or not. The American dietary recommendation. They recommend adult should have 1.2 to 1.6 kg per protein that you need. Based on your body weight, you times 1.2 to 1.6. Previously, usually okay, is 0.8 is okay already. Now increase to 1.2 to 1.6. Means that we need more protein. Protein is very important. Yeah. Yeah, you have to calculate. Based on your weight, based on your kg. Yeah. Yeah, later you can calculate lah. Easy like just type minimum 1.2 lah. But not for people with kidney problem. That is another case. 一天。So okay, 你可以怎样 calculate lah. But what I'm trying to say is we need a lot of protein actually. But most of the people are not consuming enough protein. So that's why saturated fat, don't worry about the protein. The main problem is usually the too much of the refined carbs that contribute to the high levels of the saturated fat.
Very, refined pastry.
Yeah.
Bakery, refined dessert.
Yeah.
Bubble tea.
Yeah, correct. Bubble tea, all the lifestyle, all this. Other than this, we just say, okay, I didn't take all this. Let's say you just go to hawker center, you just order a normal chicken rice, noodles, everything. You look at the portions of the food. Many is carbs. Okay, maybe few pieces of protein, meat. Correct. Even the chicken rice, you see, actually, also not sufficient of the fiber. That's the problem. It's good in taste. Yeah, it's good in taste. Yeah, that's why usually it's insufficient of protein intake lah for Malaysia. Actually, for a lot, I mean, all around the world, intake of protein is another topic. Yeah. Okay, so like I mentioned, if let's say you really have a high saturated fat based on your report, then what you can do or what you can advise is first reduce the food high in saturated fat. Okay. Other than that, please also reduce the intake of the refined carbs. Yeah. Okay.
Refined carb, that's mean.
The sugar, the sugar, the like the bubble tea, you know, all the refined sugar. How? Actually, sugar lover, those are really addict to sugar, right? There's also some study are also mentioning that is they are craving for sugar is because of their brain.
Yes.
And also another reason is because of the gut. The imbalance of the xenobiotic. I think this you mentioned previously during the Chinese class. Yeah.
Sugar level, have to look for psychology.
Okay, so again, it's good to have I mean within the target range lah. If let's say too less too low also need to increase the intake of saturated fat. But don't take those unhealthy saturated fat lah. Okay, increase the intake of red meat actually also good. Remember saturated fat is important, but less than 10% of the daily recommendation. Yeah. Yeah, all this lah. Not this lah. Okay, not this. Again, everything is moderation. Yeah. Okay, next one, omega-9. Okay, this one is easy to understand, right? Yeah. Okay. So we need a good source of omega-9. Yeah. So make sure it's also within the range. So if too much or too low, also we can look at. Let's say we take too much of extra virgin olive oil. Let's say too much. You see your result here also, you know, too high, too much. So means what? Means that you can actually try to reduce a bit lah. Means that you don't actually need that much. Okay?
Deviation is negative, like 70, 50, 50, negative 50%, right? The deviation presentation. So they can reduce their LDL, improve their HDL.
So, sorry, means that this one is negative 50. Means that they are not enough. They are too less. Yeah, low level. Means that they can increase the omega-9 intake.
Not the oil acid that have our breast.
Yeah, means that omega-9 actually helping the reduce the LDL. Yeah, helping the cholesterol level. That's why sufficient omega-9 is important. And omega-9 is also important in as an antioxidant. And
we now come out that we can split along kind of fasting that if the level is too negative, so they have to observe they have to notify them to take care of their cholesterol.
No, the omega-9. It's just the omega-9. This result is this one the fatty acid is just about the fatty acid. It's not about this one. Okay, what measuring here is actually if you do not have enough of omega-9, if this one is negative 50% what, it will cause the LDL cholesterol problems. Okay, if you have enough or even higher, means that you can improve the HDL and also reduce the LDL. Okay, so from this report, actually you just need to look at your result, whether it's too less, too low, or too high, or enough. Okay, if too low means what? You can add a bit. Okay, if too high means what? You can reduce. Okay, even though we know omega-9 is good for us, but if too high means that no need lo. Okay, save some money lo. Again, can reduce. Okay lah, at least here is enough, good enough already lo.
One thing a lot of people worry about omega-9. Okay, when it's too low. do our balance oil have enough omega-9? Or they need to take outside olive oil or other supplement of omega-9? I think
Our balance
balance oil already have enough. It's enough. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and the omega-9 in Zinzino balance oil, if not mistaken, yeah, it's a lot, and they're using the special types of olive oil, which actually have higher, higher 750 mg per
5 to 6,000 mg.
something like that.
5,000 to 6,000 mg.
We can also say that, the daily intake also cannot be duplicated. Like we can already take fish oil, we no need to take other fish oil, duplicate oil.
Duplicate means what?
你吃了又再吃别的，就是重复一样的东西。
Okay, if actually is you just add no. If let's say you are taking this balance oils with 1.9 mg of EPA and DHA, you take another product with 500 mg of EPA and DHA, you just add. It means that every day you are taking 2.4 mg of EPA and DHA.
No.
2.4 is still okay lah. Even normal people even those people with blood thinning medication, up to 3 grams, actually not a big problems normally lah. But again people with blood thinning medication, please consult doctor lah. Okay. So actually this is how we read the result. Okay, just look at I mean how well you are doing with all these fatty acids in your diet. Okay, look at the saturated fats. If too high means what, too low means what, so how you can modify your diet. Okay, for omega-3 also same. Yeah, too high, too low, so what you can do with it. Okay. So for example like just now okay, you're taking balance oil, and then you are also taking extra virgin olive oil. Okay, normally when you are cooking, and after you test for after 120 days, you look at this omega-9 value is very high. Means what? Means that actually balance oil is enough. Understand? Okay, omega-6. So I mean, if you understand this omega-6 metabolic pathway, then you can answer all this value already. Again, this means again. So means what? Means that you look at this one, if too high means that you have too much of this omega-6. Okay, each type of depends lah. We have mainly 4 types. Then if too low means that we have too low level lah.
I want to one thing right. Omega-6, normally people analyze, okay, if you have this LA, they say, oh, you're having this problem. DGLA, oh, you're having this problem, you detect this, you detect that. I think it's not necessary to analyze, let people know you're having this problem, that problem. From this number, you will be able to determine this problem, that problem, I believe. They're not right. And we just analyze it. Important thing is omega-6 is based on AA. End of the day, you look into AA, where your heading is. I think that is the right way to analyze. Am I right?
Yeah, okay. As I mentioned, this report is not for us to diagnose anything.
Yes.
Okay, and from here we cannot really diagnose anything. Yeah. So you mentioned actually quite a few partners also keep mentioning. I mean asking about me. I have this DGLA very high. What happened? What should I do? That's why all these result, all this report, all this data do not focus on only one.
Yes.
Okay, look at it as a whole things. Because as you can see here, the omega-6 metabolic pathway, okay, is actually each one is influence each other. Okay, your LA too much also will influence the GLA, okay, and then influence the DGLA, can come to AA. But why we keep mentioning or focus on the AA? Because AA will directly contribute to the inflammatory substances. Means that too much of AA will influence and will cause the increase of the inflammatory factors in our body. It will cause the inflammations. That's why easy for everyone to understand. We only look at the AA. And for the 6 key indicator, you will only look, you will only find the AA index. Okay, yeah, but each one, I mean, there's some a lot of reasons are behind each result. Okay, let's look at, let's say like LA lah. So LA is mainly again moderation. Yeah, we still need LA. Okay, but we don't need too much, because too much of LA will eventually form too much of AA. Okay, and increase the inflammation. Yeah. So LA okay lah, easy to understand lah. Okay lah. So I talk about something special about, like, let's say GLA lah. Okay. So people might mention or only remember that omega-6 is not good because it causes inflammation, right? But actually, like you see just now, there's 4 types of omega-6. Okay, especially the GLA and DGLA actually is also important for anti-inflammation function. Okay, means that our body needs enough sufficient of GLA and DGLA for us to anti-inflammation. Okay, so for this GLA, actually GLA, yes, as you can see from here, it can convert from LA. Means that LA can convert to GLA. But remember that the conversions of LA to GLA is considered as very difficult, because it involves this enzyme. Yeah, and this enzyme involved in many other metabolic pathways. Yeah, okay. So usually, if let's say you have really very low level of GLA in your report, you have to increase the intake of the GLA from your diet. Okay, the most famous is the EPO, yeah, the evening primrose oil, the borage oil as well. And also, if let's say you really have very low level of GLA after test, okay, you can change from, I mean, you can consume and take the vegan, balanced oil vegan, because balanced oil vegan provide us directly the GLA. Okay, if let's say you have really too low of GLA, yeah.
But it's too high.
Okay, so too high, what is the possibility and reasons if we have very high level of GLA? So maybe because you are taking too much of EPO or too much of GLA supplementation. Yeah, so if you have too high, so means you can reduce the dosage of the, like I mentioned just now, GLA you have to take from your diet. Yeah, from supplementation. So you have to modify the dosage of the supplementations. Or maybe because of the insufficiency of the activity and the activations of the enzyme. Yeah, because this is not active. Okay, that's why here cannot convert to DGLA efficiently. Okay, that's why you will stop at GLA. That's why your body have very high level of GLA. Okay, and also because of maybe because of the female menstrual cycle factors. Yeah, also will influence the results of the GLA. Okay. Okay. So that's why if let's say you have too high of GLA, first look at if your AA is very high. Okay. If AA is very high, means that your GLA now in your body is too much, and it have the high tendency to convert to AA. Okay. So means if you have GLA high, AA also high, then reduce the intake of the GLA or LA. Okay. And also increase the EP and DHA, and lowering the GLA supplementation. Okay, this is what we can do and suggest lah. So if let's say too low, or maybe because of these enzyme problems, and also too much of EPA, if we take too much of too high dose of EPA, also will influence the GLA. Okay, so again, if your GLA is too high, first look at your AA. Okay, second thing, look at your EPA. Okay. Okay, other factors also influence. And also, if let's say you have GLA or TGLA lah, it's because of this. What you can try is also increase the intake of all these vitamins and minerals. Okay, especially B6, magnesium, zinc. So if let's say it improves after 120 days, it improves, means what? Means that, yeah, you are insufficient of these vitamins and minerals. Okay, So if too low, how? Yeah, you have to take the supplements of the GLA from the vegans or EPO. Yeah, increase the intakes of the B6, magnesium, and zinc.
But one thing, about, you see, when we see low is good, a lot of clients, when they heard it's good, you forgotten to mention, hey, you only take for a certain time. Once they carry on taking EPO for long run, how? What's gonna happen?
It means what? You mean too much of GLA?
Too much of GL.
Too much of GLA? Like if let's say actually it also depends on your body. If let's say your body have the higher tendency to convert the GLA to AA, too much of EPO, too much of GLA, you eventually cause too much of AA as well.
Also,
that's why again, moderation is the key. Yeah. Okay. So look at your result, and if too much, have to look at the AA, have to look at the EPA. Yeah. Look at other result, other factor. Okay. Next one, TGLA. Okay, this one also same. This one also a lot of people asking. I have too much of TGLA, I have too low of TGLA. What should I do? What happens? Actually, again, TGLA is good, okay, because TGLA can form the anti-inflammatory substances directly, okay? So we need TGLA. But again, too little, if we have too little of TGLA, means that the conversions to anti-inflammatory factors getting not enough, insufficient, okay? If we have too much of TGLA, again, it's not good. Why? Because too much of TGLA have the tendency to convert to AA. Okay? That's why I say understand this pathway, then you can explain better. Yeah? Can. So high, let's say you have this TGLA with too high. First thing, again, maybe your GLA supplementation is too much. Yeah, you're taking too much of EPO, or yeah, then maybe because also for people with high insulin sensitivity, yeah, and low level of the enzyme. Okay, that's why first thing usually what we can do with all these string result, all these look string, the result looks why too high, too low, then start to supplements more the B6, zinc, and magnesium. Try it first, see if it improve or not, because enzyme also play a very important role in the conversions. Yeah. So if too high, so TGLA, if it's too high, you have to keep omega-3 intake strong. Means what? Means you need to make sure you have really sufficient of omega-3. Yeah, yeah. If not, your TGLA will easily convert to AA. Okay. If you look at the full picture, the conversion of EPA is actually using the same enzyme with the conversions of TGLA to AA. Okay. If too low, okay, too low, then you can add the GLA supplementation, yeah, EPO, then also focus on the enzyme. Actually, all the methods how we improve the result actually first focus on the enzyme, means the B6, magnesium, and zinc. Okay, yeah, the enzyme, what we need is actually make sure that you have sufficient of all these vitamins and minerals as well. Okay, not only omega-3 we need, yeah, not only supplementation of omega-3, you also still need all these vitamins and minerals. And then after that, you have to make sure you have really sufficient of omega-3 intake. Okay, maybe you can increase the dosage of the balance one, yeah, increase the dosage of the EP and DHA, and also have to manage the stress and sleep management, to be honest. Okay, if you continue to have a very stressed lifestyle, if you continue to have a bad sleep, then yeah, you might not get a very good results after the 120 days. Yeah. So for AA, again, so too much, what happened? Inflammation. Okay, it's not enough of AA, what happened? Cannot initiate inflammation. Okay, cannot recover. Yeah. Okay. So AA too high, like what you asked just now, everything is normal, but still why AA is too high? This because there's a lot of reasons behind it influence the results of the AA. Okay. Yeah. If let's say the person, this one also with the belly fat. Yeah, with the belly fat. So because our body can make AA, especially for people with belly fat. Okay, so you control everything, but if you still have your belly fat with you, so maybe also say your AA is high. Okay, if I call processed food, high sugar intake, okay. Like I mentioned just now, AA is actually a hormone synthesis precursor. That's why sometimes it's higher in women, female. You might have higher level of AA. Yeah. So you did everything, but still AA is too high. Maybe it's your genetic problem. Maybe just because you are a female, that's why you have a high. But when you have high AA, make sure what? Make sure your omega-3 is enough, is sufficient. Yeah, that's what you can do. Even people with gene problem, some genetic, also naturally, they will have high level of AA. Okay, so observe it after few times of tests, then you know your body better. Okay. Okay, so AA is too low. Yeah, these are normally the reason. If too low. Okay. Usually people are not taking a very strict diet, very low fat diet. Okay. Okay, so omega-3 is important to make sure everything is enough. It's too much, so maybe you can reduce a bit the dosage. Okay, so I think you can skip all this because I believe all of you already understand this one. Any question for the omega-3? Which one? Which? Yeah. This one? This one? What? Front or back?
No.
About what? About omega-3?
Yes.
Oh. Actually, omega-3, there's a lot of types of omega-3. Okay, ALA is the very basic one. Yeah, and usually it's from the vegetable source, plant source. Okay, but always remember, this one we keep mentioning, if let's say your source of omega-3 is from plant-based, it's actually not giving you any EPA and DHA directly. It will provide you the ALA only. And ALA, after we consume it and inside our body, we need to convert to EPA and DHA, and the conversion rate is very low. 5 to 10% only. That's why always people who are taking vegetarian diets, even though you ask them and they say, oh yeah, I'm taking all the nuts, I'm taking all these walnuts, flax seeds, I heard that is high in omega-3, but still insufficient of EPA and DHA. Why? Because they are taking ALA. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, EPA, DHA, DPA, all are important for us. Okay. EPA, especially for the anti-inflammations factors. Okay, that's why from here, actually, you can see also, I can mention again, if you want to choose, okay, how should I choose? Balanced oil or balanced oil vegan? Yeah, so depends. If let's say you want to really focus on the anti-inflammation function, then you have to take the balanced oil. Yeah, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because it's higher in EPA. And EPA is particularly for the anti-inflammation. Okay, and for the vegan, it's actually also contribute. I mean, give us a very good source of EPA. Okay, but with higher portions of DHA, and DHA is good for our brain and for our vision. Okay, especially now we are using all this phone for kids. Yeah, make sure that they have sufficient of DHA. Okay, and DPA. What is DPA? DPA is very special. Okay, not much products are providing directly the DPA. Yeah, and DPA, why is very good source of omega-3? Because as you can see here in our body, if let's say we are taking sufficient of EPA, it actually will first convert to DPA, then after that DHA. Okay, and DPA is good is because actually the EPA, DHA is very unstable. It gets oxidized easily. Okay, and it cannot store in our body, but DPA can. Okay, it's more stable and can be stored inside our body. Yeah, so when we need more EPA, and it will convert back to EPA. Okay, and when we need more DHA, it will convert to DHA. Yeah, that's why a supply of DPA is also a better source lah, if let's say the product can provide us directly the DPA. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is overview of the omega-6 to omega-3 metabolic pathway. So as you can see here, not only our diet, yeah, all these enzymes, the activations of the enzymes also important, yeah, and also we need extra, I mean, all these, make sure that our body have all these in sufficient of the vitamins and minerals, yeah. That's why if let's say you are taking balanced oil, together with Velexil, it's better choice. Yeah. You have picture because you make sure that yeah, because from balanced oil you make sure that you are providing your body sufficient of omega-3. Correct? But we still need all this. So if you take it together, then your body have sufficient omega-3, yeah, and your body have sufficient of vitamins and minerals, then work synergistically.
Yeah,
okay, the product.
enzyme.
Sorry?
They're using the same.
Yeah. That's why if you have more EPA, so it will also influence here. Okay? If you have too much of here, it will also influence here because they are using the same. They are using the same. Okay? Also, that's one another. Yeah. And another thing is why we keep saying that ALA is so hard. Okay? It's only 5 to 10% to convert into EPA because again, you see, if you have too much of LA or saturated fat, they are using the same enzyme. Okay, if too much of enzyme are being used to convert LA to GLA, blah 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 to AA, then you will not have sufficient of enzyme to convert ALA to EPA. That's why ALA to EPA conversion is so low.
The contribution of the enzyme
Like you mentioned, or because of insufficiency of this, so the enzyme is not activated. So again, not only about omega-3 and 2 and many more, we should follow and do to make sure that we have a good result. Okay, some frequently asked questions. If you have other frequently asked questions, can share with me also. Next time I can share more. So let's say does having like just now we also mentioned this, right? Does having all green on the balance has everything is good. Okay, everything is green means that body is completely healthy. I'm so healthy now. Not really actually. Yeah. Remember that the balance set is only analyze the 11 types of fatty acid. Okay. So everything we'll have to play around with the fatty acid, whether we are sufficient or not. Yeah. If not sufficient, if imbalance of omega-3 and say omega-6 to 3, what it cause what? Two things. Yes, easy. Okay. Yeah. Why after I start this balance, I think a lot of people ask also, right? But still not all green. Still some results are still not completely normal. Okay, I already start omega-3 ma. Actually, this one also, if you really understand the whole thing, you can answer this one also. Yeah, because like we see just now, it's not just about omega-3. There's a lot of other factors, influence, and usually there is 5 potential interfering factors, including what? If let's say again your diet, you are taking supplement, you are taking balanced oil, but your diet is still high in omega-6 or still high in sugar.
Lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay. Your lifestyle.
Diet. Sure high.
These are always normally if we consult during the nutrition consultation when we understand people diet usually they say okay I didn't eat rice also eat a little bit only, okay, but after you deeper then okay, sometimes I eat biscuit sikit only the biscuit okay, just 2 bites of this, all this add together.
So you keep omega-6.
Okay, again, sleep, chronic stress will cause cortisol level to go up, and cortisol level will influence the conversion of the omega-6, omega-3. Cortisol is problems. Okay, so sleep late. I mean the once a while is okay lah. no, you know what? We still need to be happy and enjoy your life. Okay, but again, moderation is the key. Yeah. So basically, because impaired liver, metabolism, insufficient bowel secretion. If you have the bowel acid problems, you have the gallbladder, gallstone problems. If you also influence lah, because it affects the absorption of the fat in your intestine. Yeah, people with gallbladder stone, might have the difficulty in absorb the fat. Yeah. So that's why their result, even taking the omega-3 or balanced oil, still doesn't look perfect. Okay, all these are just now I mentioned, yeah. That's why balanced oil together with Flaxseed. And also Xenobiotic Plus, right? Because we need to have a good gut health for the absorption. And also genetic lah. If it's all because of genetic, so you see the result like the AA. Yeah, some might have the genetic problem. If you already change everything is good. Your lifestyle, your diet, everything is so good, so perfect, but AA is still high. So maybe because of the genetic lah. Okay, then you just make sure you keep your omega-3 enough. Okay, so this is the goal, and yeah, yeah. Okay. So
does it go with age and all things sometimes?
Yeah, actually age also influence it. People more than 40 years old will have a lower activations of the enzyme as well.
So
Actually, more than 30 years, start from 30 years old, everything start to decline. Sorry to say. 28, 28.
People say, oh, people sleep less is better.
yes, better.
Sleep less is better. I think
Age is getting up.
I think naturally old people will sleep less. Yeah, maybe because of the cells. Yeah, maybe because of a lot of factors. Yeah.
7, 8 hours.
Yeah, 7, 8, 6 to 8. Actually, is okay. Sleep about sleep. Actually, also actually,
Deep sleep.
if deep sleep is also a key. For stress, for sleep, for diet, actually for lifestyle, for everything. If let's say you have a dramatic change, it's also no good for your body. Yeah. So for sleep, let's say you always sleep at
4 or 5 hours.
sorry.
4 or 5.
Depends. If let's say your body feel good, feel fresh every time, means that maybe your because our brain have the memory, brain cells have the memory. Yeah. But usually the recommendation is at least 8 hours 8 hours quality sleep. That's why the deep sleep. Yeah.
Oh, deep sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think there's a data showing that 95% of the 95% of the customer, clients, after taking the balance oil, have a balance of positive and balance of omega-6 to 3. And recommends recommend to take the test before you start your supplementation of omega-6 omega-3 before you start your balance oil, and after 100 days do another test to see how well the products, or how effective and how your diet or your lifestyle in this 120 days. Yeah. And why 120 days? Why? I want to see the result very quickly. Can't I, after 1 month, I go and test? I want to see very fast one.
Cell regeneration.
Yeah, especially the red blood cells. Okay, so red blood cells regenerate every 120 days. Yeah, and that's why it's I mean, even the supplementation of omega-3 or any our body functions is never influenced by just one factor. Okay, it's influenced by many factors. Yeah, and also it's not only influenced by one meal. Okay, People say cannot eat McDonald's. After I eat McDonald's, tomorrow I will get fat. No, same. Okay. Even though today you want to enjoy yourself, you want to have a cup of beer, a bottle of beer, enjoy yourself. But at least, I mean, the most important in health education is you realize what you are doing. Okay, you realize that what you are actually doing, how it influences your body. And after you do this, what else can you do to make it balance? Okay, I think this is important. Okay.